Okay, you guys, we are back with another video. In this video, we're gonna talk about little Northwest because North is out here living her best life, honey. And as such, I have to say that it's pretty interesting to see her living like this at only 12 years old. Now, please note that we're talking about North, but we're not talking about North. We're talking about Kim's parenting. Kanye gets to escape this because he's just not the best version of himself. Seems as though he's working his way to get there, but until then, Kim is just done with parenting North, and I think she is done. Honestly, I think North is pretty much on her own. It is do whatever she wants, and Kim doesn't care. That's what I think. Now, this tends to be, Kim and Chris' way of life, because if you guys remember, Kendall told us that when she was 16 years old, Kris Jenner was done raising them. Kris Jenner didn't care who they brought into the house, what they were doing. Remember, Kendall said at 16 she was in her bedroom having sex, and she was in the backyard smoking weed, and Kris Jenner would be in the house, and Kris Jenner didn't see any of it because Kris Jenner was just done raising them. And I believe everything that Kendall has said, and that's the reason why you see Chloe talking to Kris in the manner in which she speaks to Kris, because Chloe doesn't feel like she had a mom. I think the only child that got the best of Kris Jenner was Kourtney. I believe after Kourtney, Kris Jenner was like, it's nice to have these kids, but being a parent and being strict is not for her. And as such, I believe that is what Robert Kardashian realized with Kris Jenner, that Kris Jenner was a woman. She was a mother, but she wasn't in tune to her motherly instincts, because remember, Kris Jenner would just be flirting with men right in front of Robert Kardashian's face, and she didn't care. Kris was out there living her best life unapologetically. It seems as though her marriage to Rob never meant anything. And I think Kris Jenner saw Robert Kardashian as soft, because initially she rejected him, because Robert Kardashian was after Kris when she was pretty young. At that time, Kris Jenner was in the world from about 14 years of age. Kris Jenner was already out in the world, dating men, dipping and doing, and, hobnobbing and canoodling. And she dated a jockey, and then Robert Kardashian came back. She thought that Robert Kardashian was cute, but a nerd, very educated. And I think that Kris Jenner realized that, her ticket into Hollywood would have been with Robert Kardashian, and she took him for an opportunity to get in that circle. And when she got in that circle, she was living her best life in that circle. She was just living. And, with Kim and North at this point, I see the same thing happening once again. So I think that if we're really looking into how Northwest is living, it gives you a lot of understanding into how these kids were raised. And if we look at what Kendall and Chloe, because Chloe said the same thing about Kris. Kendall and Chloe, they were Kourtney too, because Kourtney will lash out sometimes at Kris. But Kendall and Chloe, they have been the two who have been very vocal about Kris' upbringing of them. North has if you look at North has the no eyebrow look going on, the finger piercing, the tattoos, and North is now clapping back at people on the internet. And you know that for a lot of mothers, even if the critics on the internet are wrong, a lot of mothers would not have their kids clapping back, but Kim has North out here clapping back, and it seems as though every time something is not working out in Kim's favor, North is going to be the girl that comes to the internet and responds to the internet on the behalf of mommy. So don't worry about North. North is gonna be fine, guys. Don't worry about her. Oh, North is gonna be fine. Whatever life North lives, she's gonna be fine. Remember that the family is an open family. So anytime North is in trouble, if she is doing something that she should not be doing, she's gonna always have someone to go to, because the kids in that family knows that their family, they're very open in terms of they're not traditional family. They're not a traditional family. They may deal in the art of family traditions such as the Christmas parties, the dinner together as a family. But in terms of norms and values, they are non-traditional when it comes to norms and values. So no matter what the issue is, North will always have an aunt or someone to go to and talk about it if she doesn't feel like talking about it with her mom. And Kim and North doesn't have that mother-daughter relationship for North never to feel comfortable with going to her mom. She's going to always feel comfortable to go to her mom and have a discussion about anything. But I see people being concerned. There's literally nothing to be concerned about. These people, they raise their kids differently, and it's evident that they do. And it's not something that you can bully someone into changing. You cannot force Kim to change. You cannot force Kim into not parenting her child in the style that she is parenting in, because she believes that that's the method that works for her. And I think that if you look at Chris, it should be like a no-brainer, not a surprise. But hey, the little girl is out here and she's living her best life. By the time North is 22, 25, she's going to be so mature and so grown up that her level of maturity is going to be really surprising to see. And make no mistakes, it's not just the Kyrgyzstanians, who do this. A lot of kids, especially in the wealthier circle, this is how they live. It might be new to us. It might be new to you. It's not even new to me because I'm a Jamaican and I know this. It happens here as well. The wealthy kids, by the time they look about 5'5" or about 5 feet, they're pretty much on their own. Their parents just keeps giving them money, get back home in one piece. That is it. The parents really doesn't care. Are the grades in school good? Because they can't afford to have the school calling them. They can't afford to be going to the PTA meetings about the child. So once the school is not calling them, once the police is not calling them, they believe that the child is doing well. And as such, it's a no-brainer. But to the average citizen, it is so taboo. It is so unreal to us. But North is out here. Every day I see her on TikTok since December, and it's always a new look, and she's fully made up, full makeup every day, full makeup on fleet, full fashion, the jewelry, the look, nothing is off limits for this girl. And when it comes to, don't get my words twisted, nothing is off limits when it comes to the world of beauty, fashion, and makeup for this little girl. Absolutely nothing is off limits. I'm sitting down wondering, is Kanye looking at this? Because knowing how Kanye wanted to culture his child and seeing how she's now being cultured, it's not concerning to me, but it's really interesting to see. I've learned to compartmentalize and not, take things deep, because you have to come to the reality that this is how these people live. They're not going to change to please you nor I, and they see absolutely no problem, but North is just 12. She's just 12. Just imagine when she's 16, she's going to have her own house or own apartment, and it's going to be just another day. Or maybe Kim may give her a section of the house because Kim is going to want to have North as close as possible to her, because North is going to be her best friend, her partner in crime, her extra pairs of eyes and all of that jazz. But it's really fascinating to see how the kids of the rich and famous like this Northie lives. And you just know by the time this girl is 22, she would have already experienced life in its fullest. that's just it. Pretty interesting to see. Let me know what you guys think, and we're going to talk some more in the comment section.